Hi, this is Ted Argyle from Adrenaline Martial Arts, and today I'm joined by Matt Cook, Adrenaline BJJ Blue Belt. Today we're just going to run through the 13 basic positions on the ground as they appear in the latest newsletter article. So let's just run through them. So the first one, jump on your back. So let's turn around this way. So the first position we look at is the mount. So in the mount position, both knees are in nice and tight, hands nice and wide, and we have a nice and low base, so my weight is nice and low. Okay, that's the first position. Second position is side control. So if you just come around this way, so they can catch my legs. So from here with side control, there's different positions you can put your hands in, different positions you can put your hips and knees and all the rest of it. But the basic side control position, this hand's underneath the neck, this one's underneath the elbow. We join both hands together. My right knee is touching his head, near his head. My left knee is touching his hips, and there's lots of chest pressure, so all my weight is on his chest. Okay, the next one is what we call front control. So with front control, my chest is on his chest, arms in nice and tight. We generally, most of the time, if you're wearing a gi, you'll grab the belt here just to secure your grip in nice and tight. So again, those three positions so far. So you've got mount, side control, arms in nice and tight here, chest pressure, and then front control. Like this. Arms in nice and tight, hands in nice and tight, lots of chest pressure. Okay, next position in order of the article is the side mount. So this is where we're on top, starting in the mount position. So if you just come around this way a bit, please. So if he turns onto his side for whatever reason, trying to escape, we go to side mount. It's different from side control. So side mount, my left knee wants to be nice and tight up here near his, almost near his head. My right foot's tucked in nice and tight to his hip. I want a little bit of chest pressure. I want my hands busy, ready to go. So I can attack his neck, I can attack his arm, all the rest of it. So, generally speaking, you'll pick this off if you're in mount. He turns onto his side to set up some type of escape. This knee up nice and high, this foot tucked in nice and tight. You don't want any space here, otherwise the person can escape. So everything is nice and tight here. Okay, next position is knee mount. Again, there's lots of variations of these positions. This article is really just a reflection of the basic positions you're going to come across within the first year or two of BJJ training. So, knee mount, we have knee in the belly. You could have it on the chest, but for safety and to be a good partner, you want to try and have the knee right in the centre of the stomach. This foot here, generally speaking, hooks the hip like this, and your foot's off the floor. So it's only my knee on this side that's touching him. Sorry, that's on the. It's got all my weight on this knee. This foot's off the floor here, so all my weight's driving into him. My right foot is level with his head, and we're trying to have this leg nice and straight. And I want to try and get this hip nice and straight as well. So I'm not leaning forward like this, otherwise I'm compromising my weight a little bit. I'll put my weight up here. Generally speaking, you control one limb here and one limb here. Bit difficult with no gi. With the gi, you grab the sleeve here and you grab his pants here if you have pants on and not shorts. And I can drive all my weight into him like that, which makes it really uncomfortable. Okay, next position, closed guard. Go this way. Just come in this way, please. So closed guard. I want both feet joined together, one foot overlapping the other one. And generally speaking, you'll have grips are really important with any type of guard. So you could grab both hands on the sleeves, you could have one on the collar and one on the sleeve, like this. This is called closed guard. Okay, next one, half guard. So half guard is quite common whenever the person, say, tries to push down the knee and pass the guard. Right, so I take my legs from being closed around his waist and now close around one leg. Okay. Now with this position, it's very important to get on your side, right? That's critical. So I'm flat on my back, it makes it really easy for him to submit me and for him to pass. So I want to be on my side, nice and tight, this hand tucked in so he can't get access to that. I have an underhook on his shoulder, and you can do any sort of attachment with your feet that secure this leg. Okay, so as a basic example, you can just triangle your knee here is a good position to initially go for. So again, from closed guard to half guard looks like this. So he pushes down. It begins to pass, I turn onto my side, underhook, and I get this closed guard on one leg, which is half guard. Okay? Next position we go to is open guard, butterfly guard. So with butterfly guard, I have both feet in nice and tight here, tracking his legs, and I want to be in nice and tight with my body. So you can go for double unders, you can go for double overs, or you can have one under and one over. When I say double unders or double overs, I'm talking about controlling the limb either over the top or underneath. Each of those create different opportunities. Another thing too is with the butterfly guard, it always works best if your knees are a little bit wider than your partner's hips. If your knees are in too close together, you can push those, squeeze those together and push them to one side, which makes it really easy for him to pass. If I have them too wide, you can push his knee down and start to pass. So I want to try and keep him roughly in line with his hips, maybe just a little bit wider, and making sure that you get some type of control on his upper body to prevent him from passing. Okay, next one is the open guard. There's 101 variations of the open guard, but the basic one that you'll run into in the first year or so is controlling the sleeves. Your feet are activated on the hips. You could have one foot on the bicep, you could have both feet on the bicep, but the most common position is either both feet on the hips or one on the bicep and one on the hip. Making sure that your grips are nice and tight so there's no way he can, or it makes it difficult for him to pass. Okay, so there's your open guard. Next one is the full back control, face up. So if you lie on your back there, oh sorry, just sit down there, turn around that way. So full back control. This is where hooks are in. So when I say hooks, the feet here are controlling the inside of his legs. We have what's called the seatbelt grip, so one arm over the top, one arm underneath, and I just join my grips together nice and tight. I want my chest squeezing against his chest. So this is what we call full back control, face up. So both of their feet, heads are kind of pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay, the next one is full back control, face down. So this is where he's ended up kind of in like a turtle position. I have one hook in here, other hook in. I need to make sure I'm sitting back on his hips. If I sit in the middle of his back, I'll end up falling this way. So I want to be sitting on the person's hips and I secure the same grip. Seatbelt grip, one over, one under. So if I have this correct, if he rolls, I'll be stuck in him and we'll be in exactly the same position we just talked about a second ago with the full back control with the person's face up. Okay? Next one is what we call front back control. So this is where I've got the turtle position. He's kind of in front of it here, like this. Now with this, we want a lot of chest pressure. I want my hips down, my legs out so he can't get access to those. And I want my grips on the outside. So no gear can be a little bit tricky. You can just perhaps cup his knees here or maybe cup his elbows. But you don't want to be weaving your hands on the inside because you can be swept. So hands on the outside like this. Then we go to, just have to check my list. Now we go to rear back control, which is here. Now this is kind of a transition position. You can't really submit a person very well from here. You probably can, but I don't know of many. But this is a great position to set up sweeps, to set up getting to a different position, or to figure out what you're going to do next. So I can't attack him, but he can't really attack me either. So you're in a great position to figure out where you're going to go next. So this is good. You know, maybe you're starting inside back control like this. You go to rear back control, and then maybe you can set up a sweep, something like that. Okay, and the last position is side back control. So with side back control, we have one knee kissing his knee here. My hand is over the top. Now from here, you'll generally speaking have your grip on the outside. Again, for the same reason we don't grip through here with front back control, because you can be swept. So your grips are on the outside. So one hand on the elbow, it could be on the knee, and this foot generally speaking is out here so I can drive him that way, or if he tries to drive me that way, I can use his foot like as a post, right? But you can adjust that knee and move it to where you need it. You can also adjust the distance of this. For example, I could be further forward or I could be further back, depending on what you're trying to set up. But this is side back control, making sure you have a lot of weight on the person's back. Thanks, mate. Cool. Cool, so there's all the basic positions you'll come across within the first year or two of Jiu-Jitsu. Obviously there's a lot more to the positions than just the positions themselves. You've got different techniques and different strategies for each position, but we'll talk about those in upcoming videos. Thanks.